So, you want to be a consultant, but it's hard to get started. There's so much to be done. How will you figure it all out? And once you've figured out everything you have to do, how will you get it all done? How do you find your first client and the next one and the one after that? How much should you charge? How do you invoice? What are the details that go into a proposal? Then you need a website and a business bank account and a logo and photos. And what will you name your business? Hold on right there. Let's just wait a minute. Here's what you need to start your own consulting business: a computer, a phone, brain power, and business experience. That's all you need. It's easier than you think to get started. The work is the same as the work you've always been doing in your corporate job, only much, much better. If the idea of starting a business is energizing and exciting, I'm all in. But if you're like the rest of us and that idea is overwhelming, don't think of it like that. All you have to do is land one project, find a client who has a project for you, get that project, do the work, and put a check in the bank. There are many steps to building a business, and I will hold your hand every step of the way if you want me to. But for now, let's focus. Let's focus on land a project, put a check in the bank. Once you put that first check in the bank, your confidence will soar and everything gets a lot easier. Hi, I'm Amy Rasdell from Billable at the Beach. I traded my corporate job for consulting more than 15 years ago, and I love it. When I got started, I didn't have big, overwhelming thoughts about starting a business and everything that means. I simply found a project, did the work, put a check in the bank. I still remember the satisfaction of putting that first check in the bank. Land a project, I did the work, I put a check in the bank, and I was pretty darn proud of myself when I did it. Now, when I was in your shoes, I had always been a W-2 employee, and I had heard things about 1099s and self-employment taxes, and although I had a lot of business experience, I had never started my own six-figure consulting business before, and I didn't know, was there a big mountain of stuff that needed to be done, or was it just a little hill? I'm here to tell you, it's just a little hill. It's not a big deal. And in fact, in California where I live, the only thing you must do before you take on your first client is get a business license. It's pretty easy. You could do it same day, online, cost $50 or $60. Not a big deal. So there are a lot of things that need to be done, but you can focus on generating revenue first. And that's what we do here. Revenue first, revenue first. You're going to hear me say that a lot. You don't have to start a business. You just have to land a project, get a check in the bank. Consulting really lends itself to one step at a time. There's not a lot of lead time to getting in and getting started and making money. There's not a big investment required. In fact, there's almost no investment required, assuming that you already have a decent computer and phone. Even my high school daughter had those before she even started high school, so most of us have those things. If you wait until all the pros and cons are lined up, you may never do it. You just have to dive in and get started. It's easier than you think. Did you ever go off the high dive when you were a little kid? You climb all the way up that ladder, you go out to the end, you hold your nose, you take the plunge, you jump off the end. That's a little bit what it's like. You can decide how high of a high dive you're willing to go off, but at some point there's a little bit of a leap of faith. You just have to take the plunge. And I promise once you get in that swimming pool, you're going to love it. You just have to find the courage to dive in. Do you feel better now? Me too. You can do it. I know you can. And I'll help you. Your clients are waiting. The world is waiting. Your world is waiting.